Lights, camera, action. Welcome back to Flick Flash. In order to fully grasp the extent of the Conjuring Universe franchise's overall plot, audiences need rewatch a couple important Conjuring Universe films before witnessing The Nun 2. The Conjuring, which was directed by James Wan, was the first film in the now famous supernatural horror movie universe before 2018's The Nun entered theaters. Ed and Lorraine Warren, a husband and wife team of paranormal investigators who were engaged in a considerable number of high-profile, real-life hauntings, are introduced to viewers in the first Conjuring Universe movie. There are multiple films based on the haunted doll Annabelle, the standalone The Curse of La Llorona, and of course, the Nun flicks, in addition to the Conjuring films. The titular abbess makes her first appearance in The Conjuring 2, another Wan-directed movie that centers on the roles of Ed and Lorraine Warren, despite there being two installments in the Nun series. One of the demon Valak's preferred incarnations gets somewhat of an origin story in the 2018 film The Nun. Naturally, several of the Conjuring Universe's films provide snippets of Valak's story, making it more important than ever to view a few of the series' flicks again. 2016's The Conjuring 2. The Conjuring 2 is a horror film that takes place in the middle of the 1970s and centers on Ed and Lorraine Warren as they look into one of their most well-known incidents, the supposed demon-caused killings at the Amityville mansion. Lorraine, who has a strong connection to the paranormal, is drawn into a vision that describes the killings while the pair conducts a seance. Lorraine sees a demonic nun figure in the vision, marking Valak's first debut in the Conjuring universe. She also observes Ed's passing, which makes her fear that the nun figure would ultimately bring about her husband's demise. A young girl uses a Ouija board in London, which causes her to become possessed by a demon. The always sympathetic Warrens take up the investigation, but Lorraine cautions Ed from becoming too involved since she thinks the nun could be involved in the haunting. Soon after, Lorraine runs into the evil nun in her husband's study, setting the stage for the events to come in the London case. In other words, the nun is influencing the demon that has taken possession of the little girl and is ready to subdue her and devour her. The devil is by far the biggest peril the Warrens have ever faced since, to make matters worse, the nun is strong enough to foil Lorraine's precognitive skills. Lorraine begins to see the details of her imagined picture of Ed's passing come together towards the movie's conclusion. Lorraine looks through her memories for any information from her visions that could assist her stop the nun-like woman. In the Conjuring universe, knowing a demon's name gives one control over the creature. Therefore, she recalls that she wrote the name of the demon in her Bible when she was trance-bound. Lorraine is able to send the demon to hell by calling the nun Valak, rescuing both the little girl and Ed. Without a question, Valak is the breakout star of The Conjuring 2, which encouraged the demon to appear in additional installments of the Conjuring films and their spin-offs. 2017's Annabelle Creation. Annabelle Creation, a prequel to 2014's Annabelle, centers on the history of the doll with the same name. Samuel Mullins, a sad doll maker who lost his small kid in a tragic accident, made Annabelle, a porcelain doll that subsequently served as a channel for a strong, malicious demon. Years later, after their orphanage shuts, the Mullins couple takes in Sister Charlotte and some of her young charges. The girls uncover Annabelle and the terror-bent monster that calls her home after Samuel warns them to stay away from the room of his deceased daughter. Sister Charlotte once exhibits to her hosts a picture from her stay at an abbey in Romania. Valak lurks behind Sister Charlotte and the other sisters. The young abbess tells Samuel she can't recall the name of the sister. Despite Valak's brief on-screen presence, the creature is regarded as the main adversary in Annabelle Creation because of its capacity to control and direct other demons. The movie's post-credits section teases the nun by teasing Valak's haunting the Romanian monastery's corridors. Other than that, Valak appears in 2019's Annabelle Comes Home for a little moment as a side storyline involving an exorcism. The Nun, a precursor to the other films in the Conjuring universe, explores Valak's past, and Bonnie Aarons, who played the role of Valak in that movie, is returning. The film also delves into the background of the monastery in Romania, which was ironically founded by a duke who was possessed by Satanism. The occultist duke once made an attempt to conjure Valak, a monster from hell. Despite the fact that the gap was closed, bombs from World War II liberated Valak from the monastery's catacombs, which allowed the demon to take control of the abbey. Despite the sisters' constant prayers, Valak refuses to go and finally kills the majority of the nuns. Valak makes cameos in later Conjuring Universe films even though the youthful sister Irene successfully seals the breach to hell and submerges Valak in the blood of Christ. This is because the demon nun isn't completely vanquished. In The Nun 2, the most recent installment of the series, Valak stalks a French boarding school, ready to murder once again. Thank you once again for being a part of Flick Flash. Until next time, keep watching, keep exploring, and keep that movie and TV magic alive. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more exciting recaps. This is Flick Flash, signing off.